Okay, so in today's video about ICP, we are going to check out some metrics and I'm going to answer a very important question that one of my viewers asked, and they said, are we in ICP going to have some sort of a 3-wave move on the upside or maybe a 5-wave, and how long can our bull run potentially be? So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great time with your family and loved ones, and let's actually start today's video by checking out ICP dashboard. So as you can see, total ICP burn is still going at quite a bit of a rapid pace, and this is great in my opinion, meaning that we are actually having in here real adoption. So in this area, there's definitely nothing to be worried about. And let's actually check out cycle burning rate. Where was it? I think, yeah, it's actually right in here. There we go. Excuse me. Okay, as you can see, this metric is down, but we can attribute part of this thing being down to the price, meaning whenever you see price going up, usually we are going to have a rise in these types of metrics. But on the other hand, whenever you see price going down, you can definitely expect these metrics to go down a bit. However, let's see, where are we at the moment? Excuse me, let's just zoom on more in here. Okay, we are at the moment in the same place that we were back down here about, let's say, 2 months ago. And if I just go on the live charts, excuse me, let's zoom out a bit more. Where were we 2 months ago in terms of price? We were actually all the way up here between, let's say, 10 to 12.5, $13. So what happened? Despite the price going down in ICP, in terms of cycle burning rate, we are actually, I would say, in this specific period of time, net neutral, which means that again, we are having in ICP some real adoption. Does this mean that we are going to go up instantly? Absolutely 100% not. These are fundamental variables and you should check them if you care about fundamentals, okay? If you want to know whether we are going to get a move up today or tomorrow, that comes down to technical analysis. And in that area, you can use Elliott waves, indicators, maybe some trend lines, so on and so forth. Having said that, let's zoom in more and see what is going on. And I still stand by what I said. This move on the upside in ICP does actually look kind of choppy. So I'm thinking if we get another move down and, for example, we do something like this, or maybe we're going to get a move up and then after another move down, I'm not really going to be mad about that. And at that point, I'm going to say, you know what, this is probably a WXY, either in form of a double zigzag or potentially a flat and a zigzag structure. And then it's going to be time to have a move on the upside. Nonetheless, in ICP, because this seems like quite a strong move up and followed by that a slow and choppy move on the downside in this phase, we can argue that we are going to at least have another move up. And we talked about this before. I expect ICP to in this phase reach to about this important region between, let's say, 8.4 to about $8.6, which means from here we can expect, let's say, like a 20% move on the upside at least. At that point, I don't really know what is going to happen, but I'm hoping that we are going to do something like this, a very strong move up, hopefully in order to go back above this level, and then we do some consolidation, followed by that another move on the upside, which you are going to see me at that point saying, look, we are probably having a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, suggesting that the bottom is in right in here. Does this mean that in this area is going to be a long opportunity? Well, I don't know about you guys. For me, the answer is probably no, because what happens after a 5 wave up, a correction down? That's why in this region, I'm probably going to say, look, in ICP, we are going to have a correction down, and then it's going to be time to have an absolutely magnificent move on the upside. But for now, let's not talk about that kind of possibilities. Let's just focus right now on the next step, which I think might be and hopefully is going to be on the upside. Now, let's go on the comment section of the previous video and answer some questions. You said, are we going to have a 5 waves on the upside in this bull run, or is it going to be only some sort of a 3-wave movement? Let's go on ICP's chart and maybe go on daily time frame. So I'm guessing you mean something like this. Are we going to have in the mid to long term a wave 1 correction for wave 2, and then huge move on the upside into wave 3, correction for 4, another move up into wave 5, or instead are we going to have potentially an A B, C zigzag structure. Excuse me, what just happened? Something like this. Well, there are no certainties in any market. There are only probabilities. But if I want to answer your question, I'm going to say we are probably going to have a 5-wave on the upside. Now, this is a very important point. That 5-wave, if it's going to happen, it's not going to really look normal. Why is that? We usually say in terms of Elliott waves, whenever you are having a relatively deep correction into our wave 2, at that point you can say wave 4 instead is not going to be that deep and it's going to just take some time, potentially longer than wave 2, and then we're gonna have another move up into wave 5. However, in the crypto market, structures in the midterm do not really look this clean. Usually what we end up having is something like this. Very quick move up off of the lowest low into a wave 1, very slow and choppy, and at the same time, relatively deep move on the downside into wave 2, followed by that big jump into wave 3. And at that point, our correction for wave 4 is not actually going to be that deep, and also it's not really going to take that long, and then we're gonna have another move up into wave 5. And if you're looking for a very classic example, I think you can actually check out Ethereum's chart back in 2021. Excuse me, there we go. So what do we have in here on Ethereum? This point right in here, about let's say $79, was actually the low of our bear market. Followed by that, we got a decent bounce back into a wave 1, a very slow and choppy move on the downside into wave 2. And at the same time, as you can see, this is like a very, very deep corrective movement. Followed by that, a magnificent move up into wave 3. You can argue this is maybe like 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 wave up, and then correction structure into wave 4. And what happened in this correction? We just had a very quick move down, I would say probably in form of an ABC zigzag or maybe a flat structure, doesn't really matter. And then we got another move up into wave 5 and our bull run at that point was over. Now, according to Elliott's waves, if wave 2 is going to be a deep corrective movement, at that point, wave 4 is going to take its time and it's going to take longer than wave 2. But as you can see, that did not play out in Ethereum. In Ethereum, our move down was very fast, and followed by that, we got our final move up, and then that was over. And in ICP, I expect something like this potentially to happen, meaning you are going to be probably really, really surprised by the power of the move up that we are going to get in internet computer into our wave 3. And then I'm not really expecting, for example, let's say like a 6 months to a year correction structure into wave 4, another move up into wave 5. No, I'm thinking we may have something like this, 1, 2, and this wave 3 can happen, let's say in about like only 2 months. Followed by that, I don't mind if I see like a month of correction structure into wave 4, and then it's going to be time for our wave 5, and that will be over in a heartbeat. So let's have our final conclusion and wrap up today's video. In terms of midterm structures, I just do not believe that we are having anything to be worried about, and this 5-wave on the upside is still going to remain my primary scenario as long as I'm not proven otherwise. And I do think in the next phase up, which is going to be into our wave 3, ICP is going to drop a lot of jaws. And trust me when I say this, when the price is up, you are going to see a lot of people advocating for ICP, but at that point, unfortunately, it's going to be too late. I want to buy ICP as long as we are staying around these low prices. Also, in terms of how long is our move up going to take, it's not actually going to take that long. No. I'm expecting, for example, let's say like 1 or 2 months of very strong moves on the upside in ICP, but then a very quick corrective movement down into wave 4, which I know is not really compliant with the traditional structures, but this is the crypto market. The structures in here are kind of different, and then in here it's gonna be time for us to have one more move up into wave 5, and that will be over. Does this mean that we are going to at that point have a huge move down in order to set new lows and take the lowest low down here about $2.50? No, I don't think so, but a move down to around these levels is not really going to surprise me at all. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in ICP's price chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.